Good morning, traders. Welcome back to the Trader Bacon Show. I am your host, Gates Adams. Happy Monday. So happy to be here with you guys. We have the legends in the house. Legends, welcome. I know you guys are supporters of today's guest. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. But first and foremost, we've got some fun stuff going on. First and foremost, we will be giving away 3 evaluations during the course of this show. So make sure to fill out the form in the chat to get your chance at winning one of those. Of course, want to congratulate last week's winners. Pardon me if I blow these up, but Sarah Hay, Larod, and Frank, congratulations. Frank, hopefully I pronounced that one right. Anyway, congratulations to you guys. Make the best use of that and go have fun with those. Of course, we still have about a day and a half left of 80% off with Apex Trader Funding till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Make sure to go to apextraderfunding.com and get any size evaluation, 80% off first month and recurring months, 1 day to pass and half price resets. Also, make sure to use promo code Benzinga. That will always get you the best price available on any evaluations with Apex Trader Funding. So make sure to take full advantage of that. We continue to see bigger and bigger numbers, of course, month after month. Over $420 million paid out by Apex Trader Funding to traders. That's money in traders' pockets. So congratulations to all of those recipients over the course of the last few years. And it continues to grow. Looking forward to that milestone of $500 million. That is just crazy to me. But we're going to have a fun show today. I've got Trader AB Legend NQ. He's going to have a lot of fun with us, share some of his story, some of his insights, how he trades. And hopefully, I know you guys we've got a lot of his followers here in the chat. If this is any indication as to how much of a leader he is in his community, take full advantage of that, and we'll show you how to get in touch with him after the show if you're interested in doing that. So let's welcome today AB on today's episode of the Trader Bacon Show. Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now. AB, what's going on, my man?
What's going on? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Gates. Thank you, Benzinga and Apex Trader Funding for having me here.
Dude, we're so happy to have you here. Got a chance to get to know you a little bit over the last, couple of weeks and hear a little bit about your story and what's been going on with you. And to me, such an inspiring story in so many different ways, in so many different arenas. I can't wait to dig into it. But I got to tell you, I'm a little bit floored by how much support you've got in here, man. You've got a lot of very loyal followers who are so excited to see you here on the show as well.
Yes, those are the legends. Those are my community, BC legends from Puerto Rico and Florida.
I love it.
They are there.
I love it. Well, welcome, legends, for sure. And of course, my regulars, John, great to see you in here as well. Some of the other folks in here. Make sure you let us know you guys are here as we go through here. I love seeing that here in the chat. So anyway, AB, man, dude, I want to talk a little bit about how you got into trading. I mean, this is kind of a wild story. Just such a story of really how much control we have over our lives, man. How did you originally get into the world of trading?
Yeah, it's a crazy story because I think it was like an opportunity that it presents in the time that I was prepared to take advantage. So to start a little bit with my story, my background, when I was younger, I made some mistake, and that led me to be in prison for 10 years. I did a sentence of 10 years. And in that moment, I thought like everything was finished for me.
Right.
Okay. I will not be able to have a good job, have a life. And for some year, I thought that would be my case. But then like half the way to getting out, I start to work in myself, in self-development, in my mind. And I start like preparing myself for something big. I didn't know in that moment what was going to be, but I think I prepare myself, to be able to take advantage of an opportunity. So when I went out, I just finished my sentence. One friend of mine presented me what was the crypto market.
Right.
And it was cool because when I was in prison, I read about crypto and Elon Musk, and I said, like, there's something here. If that guy likes crypto, I think maybe this is an opportunity. And one thing led to another, and I started with crypto, like trading Bitcoin specifically, and then I just got in love with the charts, with the fundamentals,
Mhm.
and one thing led to another, and now I trade full time Nasdaq.
Right. I love that, man. And I want to thank you for sharing some of that story, because I think we get so caught up in the idea of who we were as who we are. And I'm the first to say that that's absolutely not the case. We have the ability to change the direction in our lives. And when you're faced with a situation like you had, it can be hard to make those kinds of transitions, because if you find yourself reliant on a job market that wants to judge based on, what happened 10 years ago, it's not going to be easy. And so what I love is the idea that halfway through you decided, hey, I'm going to make this shift. I'm going to make this transition in who and what I am. And that ultimately led to that not being an obstacle for you. You made that decision to choose your path and to do something that was more meaningful for you. And anyway, I love seeing that. And I think that's reflected in so many ways in the world of trading itself. I know I have a history with trading that has definitely given me some roadblocks over the last almost 3 decades, and made it really a challenge for me to psychologically get past some of that. And I can't imagine that it was that different for you. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that you look at and go, can I really do this? Is this really the route for me? What was it that really was the sticking point for you that said, hey, I'm going to be a trader? Look, it doesn't happen overnight. So at what point did you say, this is my route? This is my path to get through this?
Yeah. So first of all, I think the most important thing is when you have a why. Why I am doing this, and I had a boy, I had a son,
Mhm.
and I always told to myself, I want to show him that no matter what you have done or what are the odds, you can do good in life. And so in trading, in regard of trading, so when I start trading, I saw an opportunity that, okay, I can make money. I
Mhm.
don't have a boss. It's just me versus me.
Right.
And I think this is perfect for me because right now, like, nobody wants to give me employment because of my past. So this is an opportunity. There's no plan B. I'm gonna make this or I'm gonna make this. So that.
When it comes to whys, I've got to say that's a pretty big one. When you look at the big picture, is you know we all, so often we have this backup plan, and it becomes so easy to say, look, I don't really have to make it because I've got this job. I mean, the job isn't what I want to do, maybe, but I've got it. I'm safe. I'm comfortable. And really making that commitment, I think for all of us is very, very critical. And again, I mean, this is not overnight success. How long did it actually take you from the time that you really made this decision to where you got to be a consistently profitable trader?
So it was about to have consistent result. It was about 2 years journey, but I think my process went way back. To the time that I was in prison, I started to develop myself. I think the trading is hard for the most of the people because of that what you're saying. People just have maybe a job and they're comfortable,
Right.
and at the same time, like, we took everything for granted.
Right.
But I lost everything. I know what is say losing everything. I know what is that. So I say, there's nothing to lose here.
Mhm.
It's just win. You can do it. Like, there's nothing in this world that you can't do it. If you want to do it and you put the work to achieve it, you will do it. But people sometimes they just relax and step back. They are confident. I have a income, so they don't, like, put the 100% of effort to make it happen. So I think that's the main difference, and why it was like so smooth for me.
Mhm.
because I was not 100%. I was 1,000% into
Right.
this.
Well, and I think that really reflects, my journey. And I know for a lot of you guys out there, you're gonna relate to this. I mean, over the course of 30 years, I would trade for a few months, not do well, and quit. And then years would go by, and then I'd trade for a few months and not do well and quit. And then years would go by. I mean, I did this multiple times for close, like I said, to 30 years. And like I said, there was definitely some baggage that I was carrying with me along the way. And when I made that final commitment, that was just over 2 years ago. And I thought that was my final commitment, but 11 months in, I quit again. But this time I only quit for like 4 months. I'm now a full year into aggressively growing myself as a trader. But a lot of that stems from the fact that I did have backup options. I had a job throughout this entire period of time. So when you talk to traders, and I know that you do some mentoring and that kind of thing, when you talk to traders, how do you address the level of commitment when they don't necessarily have to be that committed? Do you have something that you share with people?
Yeah, actually, they are here, so they know.
They know.
I always tell them, if you want this, you have to give your 100%. You have to be 100% committed to this. Like, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to see results like fast. But if you stay disciplined, like if you follow your strategy, your plan, your edge, if you know your KPIs, if you know your statistics, if you are data driven, you will do it. But you have to keep showing up. You have to keep pushing up. You can't quit or I say like slow down, bajarle. You can't do that. Like you have to be like 100% committed. And that's why I'm always with them, like from Monday to Friday. I'm always like talking to them. Maybe some motivational something is about data, info, statistics, but it's okay. You have to be in this like 100. No half-assing.
Now, I'm going to assume that this is what you're going to refer to as el sistema, because I keep seeing that in the chat. For those of you who are not on top of your Spanish, the system.
Yeah.
But even Juan makes a specific comment, and I'm a huge, huge believer in this. Commit as you commit to the gym, and you'll have results. You don't go to the gym, work out for a couple hours, and all of a sudden have major biceps. It just doesn't work that way. Well, trading doesn't work that way either, but we think it can. Logically, we know you cannot build 10 pounds of muscle in a week, right? But we don't understand, I think maybe at least in the initial stages, that you can't build the mindset and the routines and the systems and the discipline, all of those things that are key components to success, in a week. I mean, we go in with the mindset, I'm going to go watch a few YouTube videos, learn a good strategy, and boom, I'm going to be rich. I know I've made this comment before, it cracks me up, but we do. I've been guilty of this, and it just doesn't work that way. And clearly, you have a just your hand on the pulse of what really works, not just for you, but for the community at large. And I love that. Now, I want to take a little bit of time and talk about, like, look, you spent a few years developing a system and a strategy that has worked for you and brought you consistent results. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those results on the back end of this. But let's talk a little bit about your strategy and what it is that you're actually looking for on a day-to-day basis to line up your trades and build your success. Let's go ahead and pull up those charts if we can.
Yeah, yes, let's do it. So, hey, today was a great day for me and for the community. So, I have a strategy that we call el sistema.
All right,
and is based on market structure and liquidity.
Okay.
And we have certain moments when the fractals, the lower time frame and higher time frame fractals aligns, and that gives us a signal. Something that we use is support resistance. It's like some people think it's basic, but it's really good. So what I do is I try to find those moments when the market are targeting a certain area of liquidity. Like, let's say on Friday, the past week, we saw that the market was like tanking, going really, really, really that down. And it took previous monthly low liquidity. Right. It took all this place. So And in Friday, we saw that the price reject once it took that liquidity.
Mhm.
Okay, now it enters the thing of the confluence between the fractals.
Okay.
In the higher time frame, we took an external range liquidity. So what's next? It's going to go to an internal range liquidity. So IRL are identified as fair value gaps of some kind of accumulation inside the range, from the high to the low.
Right.
And I have here one fair value gap. So, okay, it's targeting one internal range liquidity. But what I see the most is the price is already interacting with a key support resistance level. It was the floor from this accumulation. So I say if the price went to an internal range liquidity, it's probably that the price will sell to an external range. So the higher time frame is telling me to sell. Then when I go to the lower time frame, I want to confirm this. And I wanna let's okay, here. So when I go to the lower time frame, I see that the price did a displacement and had here an apex, an apex support level. So if the price rejects this area, I will be looking to sell, targeting this liquidity, because if I made a new level in the Dow Jones theory, say that when the price make a new level, it will do a discount.
Right.
So the price did a new level. So I was waiting for the discount. So in that moment on, I'm just waiting to have a manipulation of liquidity and a sell model. So in that moment, I go to lower time frame. I have my targets, and I look to I wait for the opening, and I like to see like a manipulation. You see that open range. See that open range here in lower time frame, 15 seconds. I saw an inversion. So that was like my first entry. Like, okay, it did it. It did what I want. It manipulates the high. So he's taking out the sellers, like the early sellers. I go in that moment, and then I wait for the breakout. That first trade, I just target the next liquidity, the open range.
Right.
I'm waiting for a breakout. So then the price breaks, and I have an open range breakout. So I'm looking to continue that movement in sales. So once the price goes out, it took the sellers, it displays to the downside. I'm just waiting for the retest to continue.
Are you looking for a retest on every entry? Is that like a key component for you?
Not every time. Like if you see this, the first entry that is more risky, I enter as soon as it close.
Okay, so you're looking for like that fair value gap inversion.
Yeah, the fair value gap inversion, I just get it. When I have a breakout, an open range breakout, I used to wait for a retest.
I got you.
So if I have like a point format in that area, like a 3-minute fair value gap, that will be my target point, or maybe a 1-minute fair value gap. I like this kind of point, the apex. I love apex. They're really useful.
Right.
I wait the price to go to my fair value gap, and then targeting the next zone of liquidity. That is the time-based liquidity, those Asian lows and London lows. So that will be my trade. And that's the system. That's my strategy. As I told you earlier, today was a really great day for me and for the whole community. So it's simple, but it's really powerful. Like, okay, if you see the higher time frame was telling me to sell to an external range liquidity. The lower time frame say it's going to sell, but to an internal range liquidity. So I'm not an ego trader. I'm not going to let that trade just to run to the other side.
Sure.
I use the fact that I have high probabilities of a movement to the downside, and I just do my trade like 1 or 2, 1 or 3, and I'm out. I make my money and I'm out. So that's
Now,
it. That's basically the Sistema.
now, ultimately, we know that the market tends to move with, of course, much more volume in that morning New York session because we've still got London open. Is this something that you would or could trade in later hours, or even in an Asian or London session, or would you stick with just that New York AM session?
I think the New Year session gave us a really pretty nice volatility.
Mhm.
I say the volatility is the opportunity of the prepared traders. So I like volatility, and it helps me to just reach the target faster. But
Right.
in London session and Asian session, I saw the same thing.
Mhm.
I trade in base of a structure. Let's see. Let's see if we can find something. Okay, look, something like this. You see that the price here in Asia,
Mhm.
it took an high and then displaced to the lows.
Right.
So it's probably that the price is going to retrace and go down. So if you can, in this case, the price didn't go to my target like for a few ticks,
Right.
but I will target those next lows.
Sure.
You see, so you can use it on London and Asia, but I have seen most results and consistency in New York.
Well, and I think most traders would agree that if you have the capacity to trade New York Open, that's where the money is. The flip side is if you're not necessarily looking for as big a move or the big spikes, if the system itself will work during other sessions, it may take a little longer. It may be a smaller move. But if it's a smaller move, the same thing. You're probably looking at a smaller risk, so you can sort of size accordingly and make that work. So I'm just, I know a lot of traders like to look for opportunities that maybe fit their time zone or their work schedule or whatever the case may be.
Look,
Now,
man, look, actually, in this trade that I say in Asia, this example, like if you do the 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, you will be just fine. Like
and that's
I
and that's
think
the
when
thing.
when
If
you
you
are greedy is when things get out of control.
right, of course. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, look, everybody's got their opinion. I mean, I know some traders who will say, well, you want to go for those 3s and 4s because they're going to make up for a lower win rate, right?
Yeah.
Versus, hey, if I can get a 60% win rate and a 2-to-1, I really don't care. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me if that 3 or 4 is out there. I'm done it too. And so this brings up, you talked about KPIs and knowing your numbers and things like that. I know this is a huge factor for you. You've already mentioned it, but where does that sort of come in for you? How does that help you develop and clean up the system so that you actually get the best results for you?
So when I start to focus on my KPIs, I
Mhm.
was able to see where I was good. Like we were talking now, I used to trade London, but I see that I have best results in New York. So
Right.
when you know your statistic, you can make changes that will help you.
Right.
Also, when you know your numbers, you will be confident
Hmm.
because you know that it doesn't matter that today I had a winner or a loser. In the long run, I will be profitable. So I can stay disciplined no matter what. That today I had a win or tomorrow I have a loss. I just have to be consistently doing the same because
Right.
my numbers are saying me that in the long run I'm gonna be profitable. So
Mhm.
that will help you to stay disciplined in your system.
I think that's absolutely huge. I know most of us don't go on tilt when we have a winning trade. It's usually when we have that losing trade. And to me, I mean, I think that's really the only vote of confidence is knowing what those numbers really look like. So you can say, look, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't need to make up for this right now. I can wait for the next trade. And yes, logic dictates we're not looking at this trade, we're looking at the next 100 trades. But psychologically, I think we really have to have those tools in the tool belt that tell us, hey, I'm good. Not I think I'm
Exactly.
good, but I know I'm good. And I think
Exactly.
that's really where those stats and knowing those numbers and managing and journaling and all of these things that we all know we should do that so often we kind of forget or don't feel like it or whatever the case may be really comes into play. Now I want to talk a little bit about sort of the other side of things, man. You've done the work. You've developed yourself as a successful, profitable trader, and so often people are like, "That's great. This is right where I want to be, and I like it. I work 15, or half an hour, 90 minutes a day, or whatever that ends up being, and I'm good." But you've actually taken it a step further. You built this mindset that you were supposed to be responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your family. You don't want that boss situation. So now that you've kind of moved into that, I'm a profitable trader, what have you done with that success? What's been the next step for you?
So I think one of the things that moved me the most is helping others. That's why there's a lot of people here in the
Right.
chat, my
It
legends.
shows.
I always say that trading is my profession, but my passion or my purpose is to teach and help and show everybody that it doesn't matter where you came from or what are your resources right now. You can do it.
Right.
You can be successful if you put in the work. So that's the main thing that I think the trading have gave me. It gave me a purpose to help other people to know that there are opportunities there. If you are prepared, you can just take advantage of them and do a pretty nice life with them.
To me, that's like the ultimate. When you get to a level that is, I don't want to say enviable, but at least admirable by other people. People want to accomplish what you've accomplished. You don't have to give back. You don't have to do that, but you do. And look, no, look, I'm going to say nobody works for free. And I think that from a standpoint of a learner, as somebody who's being guided, I think we take things a little more seriously when we actually contribute to our own success. But I have to make a point here. Diane, I think it's Diane Correa just made the comment, at least 4 people got funded this morning using a Sistema. I don't know what volcano green lava orange means. I'm sure that's internal speak. But I mean,
that's an emoji.
oh, is it okay? That's so funny. But yeah, so when look for me, one of the reasons that I do this show, one of the reasons that I love doing this show, is because it gives me a platform to really share what my journey's been like, and not just share other traders' journeys, but to learn from other traders' journeys as well. I did mention earlier in the show that not last year, I guess in 23, in November of 23, I quit trading for the last time. And I say for the last time because I've gotten back in and I'm not getting out anytime soon, right? But even after making that commitment and putting a year into the process and saying, look, I'm out, I'm done. I just by doing this show and having these conversations with other traders and just learning and hearing and just being motivated, it's such an amazing process that my hope for this show is not to get people to say, oh, I just learned a new strategy this morning, I'm going to go try that one out. Yeah, okay, if you're still looking for a strategy and you see something that resonates with you, go chase that down. But what we don't want to do as traders is say, oh, new shiny object, I'm going to abandon all the work that I've done for the last 6 months and go try this, right? But when we start to see that whether we're trading ICT or whether we're trading support resistance, whether we're trading supply demand, whether we're trading trend lines, it doesn't matter, because each strategy has its own merit. And if we will take the time and work on it and develop it, we can be successful. And that's what I love to show and demonstrate. And that to me was what got me back in. I mean, 3 months of being away from the charts, I was like, there's no way, I've got to get back in. This is something that's deep inside of me. And so I love talking to people who give back. Now, you actually have a Discord that you actually will guide traders through and teach them and trade with them, if I understand correctly. Is that right?
I don't trade live. I do analysis in the morning. So I share the game plan for the day.
Gotcha.
And they can learn to by seeing what I'm doing, so they can repeat it. And as you see today, only today I got four students funded. Someone with Apex, I think a 300K account.
300K.
It's really great. Yeah.
That is so cool. So now if somebody wants to find out a little bit more about that and how to follow you, how do they track you down? How do they get to know where you are?
Yes, they can find me in Instagram as AB Legend NQ. There, I share information about the community, about everything that I'm doing. I share some, free knowledge. I have a YouTube channel too that you
Nice.
can go. It's the Blockchain Legends TV, BC Legends TV. So there, you can hit me. I always respond all the message. So I'm here to help.
Beautiful. So you guys got that Instagram at AB Legend NQ, just like the subtitle on his name there. Make sure to check him out. AB, man, what a fantastic time getting a chance to spend a little time with you this morning. For those of you out there, thank you so much for sharing your morning with us as well. I hope that those of you, the legends, will come back and enjoy this time with us next week and the week after. We do this every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We see you guys commenting in there. Definitely let us know what's going on. And I sure appreciate you guys. Remember, a day and a half left. Tomorrow, 11:59 Eastern time is the cutoff for 80% off any size evaluation. There are some special promotions on some of the bigger accounts. I think the 200, 250, and 300, or 150, 200, 300. So make sure to check that out. Get the best deals possible right now using promo code Benzinga at apextraderfunding.com. We will be back next week with another phenomenal show, just like we had here today. I love getting a chance to get to know my guests here and really getting a chance to see what else is going on in the world of trading. So, AB, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thanks, Gate. Thanks, Apex and Benzinga, for having me here. It's a really nice experience.
Awesome, man. Well, you've been fantastic. I love and appreciate everything that you were able to share with us today. And we'll see all the rest of you guys next week on the next episode of the Trader Bacon Show. Thanks for joining the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Make sure to join us next time, Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern.